All right, welcome back to Math with me, Miss X. I'm super excited to have you all here again. Let's go ahead and begin our review. And again, this is still first grade review because there's a lot that we still need to catch up on and work through before going into our second grade math. Okay, so for our objective today, remember it's always broken up into 3 parts. I can see hidden 5 groups and 10 bars. So that's how we're going to do something. So it's how we're going to do something, what we need to understand, and why we're doing it. I can see hidden 5 groups and 10 bars in double-digit numbers to explain why counting by tens is much faster than counting by ones. Let's go ahead and begin our warm-up problem. You may read it with me or in your head as I read out loud to you. Joy is holding 10 marbles in one hand and 10 marbles in the other hand. How many marbles does she have in all? And remember, my friends, great mathematicians, we always go back and we reread the problem so we know exactly what it is that we're given and what exactly we're solving for. So let's go ahead and do that. Joy is holding 10 marbles in one hand and 10 marbles in the other hand. I'm going to go ahead and circle 10. And then I'm going to circle 10 again over here, 10 marbles. The reason why I'm not circling one hand is because I don't think I'm going to be counting hands. I don't think I'm going to be focusing on hands, but let's read our question to make sure. How many marbles does she have in all? That's correct. So we are not counting our hands, so that's why we didn't circle the number 1, because it's telling us that there was 10 marbles in one hand. But we aren't counting hands and we're not focusing on hands. We're counting marbles and we're focusing on marbles. So we circled the numbers, only the numbers that were related to marbles. Now our question reads, how many marbles does she have in all? And my friends, do you think that we're going to be solving for the whole or the part? Great job. We're going to be solving for the whole. And so that tells me the rest of my numbers here are going to be parts, and I'm solving for the whole. I know it's going to be us solving for the whole because I see the words in all. My class, we were practicing operation clue words. So we were looking for words that tell us whether it's going to be addition or subtraction. So let's go ahead and keep going. We did our reading. Now we're going to do our drawing portion. Joy is holding 10 marbles in one hand. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a hand here. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my 2 5 groups, because in second grade we see our hidden 5 groups and we see 10 bars. So that's Joy holding 10 marbles in one hand, and in the other hand she is also holding 10 marbles. We're also going to be drawing our 2 5 groups, or we can think of it as our imaginary 10 bar. Great job, my friends. Now that we have done that, we're now going to write our number sentence. So we did reading, drawing, now we're going to write. We're going to write our number sentence. Our number sentence reads 10 plus 10 equals, tell a friend or a family member. Great job. Welcome back. If you were thinking 20, you thought correctly. 10 plus 10 looks a lot like one of our doubles facts. And that's because it is. Our doubles facts is often the same parts, and it gives us a whole. Great. So we have 10 and 10, which is our doubles fact. We also have it to represent our picture, which is 10 marbles in one hand and 10 marbles in the other hand. I'm going to also, my friends, label my number sentence to match our word problem and to match our drawing. We know that 10 was a part, and we know that the other 10 was also a part, and we know that 20 was our whole, because that's what they were asking us to solve for based on the operation clue words. Now we're going to write our complete sentence. How many marbles does she have in all? My friends, I like to start with a specific person or a proper noun. Joy, because we have to figure out who she is, and we already know who she is. She is Joy. Joy has 20 marbles in all. Great job, my friends. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and box in my solution. Remember, our solution is not always the total, but in this problem, it is. And I'm also going to underline my unit. Remember, unit is the thing that we're counting. So, we are now totally done. We did our reading, we did our drawing, and we did our writing. We wrote our number sentence, and we wrote a complete sentence. We also remembered that when we're writing a complete sentence to answer a question, we can use the question to help us think of the beginning part to respond to the question. Okay, my friends. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the teacher model. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. All right, my friends. For this teacher model, we are going to be looking at all of these cubes on my screen here. There are so many cubes on our page here. What do you think is the best way that we could count them? Go ahead and talk to a friend or family member. What are some of the ways that we can count them? All right, welcome back, my friends. Now you might be thinking, oh, I can just count one by one. But we're in second grade now, and we try not to count by ones anymore because there's so many cubes. And on this page, there are just so many cubes. It's really hard for us to count one by one because it's easy to get lost. Now, we could also count by twos. That's possible. It's a lot like skip counting by two. Or we could also put them in 5 groups and then count by 5s, which is similar to skip counting by 5. I really like that idea, so I think we're going to go ahead and try that. We're going to put them in 5 groups, and then we're going to count by 10s. And watch me. So we're going to put 5 together. Okay. And then I'm going to put 5 more together. And then I'm going to put 5 more together. Oh. And 5 more together. And we're just going to keep going until we're finished organizing our cubes here into our 5 groups. Super important, my friends, that we are no longer practicing counting by ones because that's a skill that we left behind in first grade and in kindergarten. Now that we're in second grade, we really try to see our skip counting and we really try to see our 5 groups and our 10 bars. Okay, great job, my friends. We're almost done. We're so close. I can almost feel it. So I have a 5 group here, 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 5 group here. Now, we said that we would organize them into 5 groups and then count by 10s. So I'm going to go ahead and bring all of my 5 groups together. I'm going to bring them together to make 10. Okay? I'm merging my 2 5 groups to make a 10 bar. Merging my 5 groups, my 2 5 groups to make 10 bar. Merging my 5 groups, my 2 5 groups to make a 10 bar. Oh my goodness, my friend, would you take a look at that? How many 10 bars do we have up on the screen there? Great job. We have 4 10 bars on the screen here. And we know that there's 10 in each of those bars. So we can skip count by 10s or we can count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40. So my friends, how many cubes do we have all together on our screen here? Great job. We have 40. So many of you, I bet, were doing a great job helping me visually organize my cubes by 5 groups. No matter how we count, whether it's by 1s or 10s, we get to the same number. But which way is more efficient to count? Is it more efficient to use counting by 10 or to count by ones? Go ahead and tell a friend or a family member, and then we will talk about it together. Great job, my friends. It is so much more efficient, meaning it's much quicker, much faster, much easier to count by tens. We organized our cubes so that we could count by tens, and that was a lot more efficient. Sometimes when we're counting by ones, it's easy to get distracted and even easier to lose count. And then it takes even longer to count because we have to start over when we're counting by ones. But if you make tens, you don't even have to start all over again. It's very easy to see. And here we have, again, 4 10 bars to represent our number 40 because there are 4 tens in the number 40. Okay, my friends, for this next part of the teacher model, I'm going to go ahead and use some manipulatives that we call the base 10 blocks. I'm going to go ahead and lay some of our base 10 blocks down, and without counting one by one, my friends, I want you to think, how many do you see all together on the screen without counting one by one? Without counting one by one. Go ahead and tell a friend or a family member, and then we can go ahead and discuss it as a class. Great job. Welcome back, my friends. If you saw this 1 10 bar right here and the 2 cubes right here, you knew pretty quickly that it was probably what? 12. Great job. We didn't even need to count it. We can just see that it's 12 because we can see that there's a 10 bar here and 2 single ones here. So 10 and 2 is going to make 12 super easily. Let's make a number bond to show the cubes we grouped and the extra cubes that we added to the grouped cubes. Okay. $12 is made up of 1 10 and 2 1s. Great job, my friends. All right, so moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at what you need to do for independent practice, and what you need to keep in mind while you're going through independent practice and the exit ticket. Wasn't that just so cool, my friends? I know, I love digital manipulatives too. All right, my friends, so as you move into independent practice, meaning the parts that you are doing yourself, I want you to keep these 4 things in mind. You are going to combine 2 hidden 5 groups in order to see and circle the groups of 10. If you start circling groups of 10 without seeing your 2 hidden 5 groups, you might miscount. So go ahead and look for the 2 hidden 5 groups first in order to circle a group of 10. Number 2, do not count one by one. We are now in 2nd grade. We need to figure out how we are going to see our 5 groups, and we are going to practice more intentionally, seeing 5 groups, skip counting, and counting by tens. Number 3, box in your solution so that you know exactly what your solution and answer is. Number 4, underline your unit. So this is a skill that I want us to keep practicing because a lot of our friends get confused by what a unit is, or they don't know how to answer a word problem because they don't have an idea or understanding of what a unit is. So remember, the unit is the thing that you are counting, the thing or the item that you are counting. So I want you to underline the unit in your next worksheets. That way you get used to it, and that way you'll be better prepared for word problems. All right, my friends, you guys are going to do wonderful. Good luck. Go ahead and watch this video as many times as you need, and go ahead and check in the description box below for the pages and the page numbers and the soft PDF copy of it. Alrighty, bye my friends.